Hey guys, how is everyone doing? Welcome to this surprise live stream. Well, it's kind of a surprise because we did announce it on the portfolio review video today. I know it was going to be a little bit later than usual, so I know a lot of people on the other side of the world might be sleeping right now. But yeah, we're going to be taking a look at the portfolio reviews that we were missing from the Discord channel. So if you want to submit, you can still submit. Like you can submit right now, and I'll be taking a look at them. We got Entertainment Jerk on the chat and Ryan B as well. Hello, my friends. How are you guys? Doing good? I'm patiently waiting for the end of the day so that I can go and get my copy of Zelda. Play a little bit. Aaron says, I purchased one of the modeling courses. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Let's go to the main scene. There we go. Which one did you get, my friend? Did you get the... like the mechanical creature? Did you get like one of the characters? Which one? Which one did you pick? Okay, let's go. It's fun? Oh, Ryan, don't spoil it, man. Don't spoil it. I haven't seen anything. I just saw some like the trailers and stuff, but I didn't want to see anything because I want to go in blind. So yeah, the Kratos. Oh yeah, the demon character Thyros. His name is Thyros, the tiefling character. That's great, man. Yeah, if you have any question, by the way, if any of you guys have any of my courses or any of the other courses, and you have a question at any point, we are, I think, one of the only like schools that do this, where you can actually ask the questions on the Discord channel or directly in Udemy, and we will answer you. So we want to treat this kind of like a class where it's not just the video out there, but you can actually see the result. So last night we stopped at I think it was this one that was the last one, Leo Good Team, and we're now gonna go with a master blog right here, Yash Tripathi. Let's see. Now, if you guys are new to this like process, we do portfolio reviews every month. This month we had a lot of submissions. We now have 2 ways to submit your portfolio. You can do it through Discord, or you can do it through the Google Drive link. Both of them should be on the description. And I will give you my feedback, which pieces I think are good, which pieces might need some work, what kind of things you might need to do to improve on some of the pieces. That's the kind of stuff that I would do. So we got here Yash Tripathi from New Delhi, India. And let's start with this flintlock pistol. This looks good. I like it. I think the materials could have either the materials or maybe a little bit of the rendering could be improved a little bit. Right now, the problem with this type of renders is that it tends to be very, very flat. And let me show you what I mean by this. So I'm gonna go by default Marmoset, because most of these renders are done in Marmoset, especially for game renders. Let me see if I have. I'll just import like whatever I can find here. There we go, like this armor. So this is the armor that we have from the old, or not the old, the newest course, which is the sci-fi character creation. And a lot of people would just do like a very basic render like this. Sometimes they'll play a little bit with the like the values and stuff. I'll probably like just increase this to make it like a clear render. But as you can see, this looks very flat. It's not bad, right? Like you can see the model and it looks interesting, but it's a very flat approach to this whole thing. So ideally, we would want to have a little bit more life. And the easiest way you can get this in your render, and this is my advice to you, Josh, the best thing you can do is lower the exposure of your lights a little bit, of your global light, and do a very basic 3-point light setup. So it's just one light coming from the top right or top left, whichever you want. You can make this a little bit more intense. It even has like the option to do like temperature. I'm gonna make it a little bit warm. I'm gonna make the distance a little bit bigger so that we have softer shadows. You're gonna start seeing the shadows here getting a little bit softer the more like diameter I give the element. So by doing that, we get like softer, cleaner, more natural shadows. And then you go to the other side of the like opposite to the light, and you do another light, and this is going to be your rim light. So you're going to increase the intensity quite a bit. I usually like to play with temperatures and make them the opposite, so this one is going to be cold. And I also like to change this thing so that we don't have harsh shadows. And there you go. Now you can go back to oh god, You can go back to the brightness and bring the brightness up a little bit. I usually don't like having a gradient on the background, so I'm gonna go with color. I'm just gonna do a very basic like dark color, or like a dark gray. An infinite background also helps. And as you can see, this right here gives it a little bit more juice to the whole thing. That's the kind of stuff that you want to go for when preparing your renders, having a little bit more juice. Now, if you have Marmoset 4, and we do have a course about Marmoset 4, it's the dwarf that you're seeing like over there. We can use ray tracing, and by using ray tracing, we're gonna get even softer and nicer light information on the model, and that's gonna make the whole thing look really, really cool. And then you can do what you did, which is to just throw in a very quick like turntable. Wait for this to on crash itself. I think it's crashing a little bit. There we go. So I'm just gonna select this guy. I'm gonna go scene, add object, turntable. I'm gonna get the armor instead of the turntable. There we go. And now, of course, if I do the animation, I'm not gonna be able to see the ray tracing. But if you render this out, you will see the ray tracing. And this presentation, this light presentation, will make your objects look a little bit nicer. Because I do think you have some very nice models. That gun is really nice. The radio is really nice. This guns right here are really nice. But for instance, again, this old lantern, it's a good model. I can definitely see like good detail, good textures right here, but the render is not helping, right? So if we can make and improve our renders, we're gonna get an even better result. Same for this forklift trough. I would also recommend what I recommended yesterday for the portfolio review of the other students. Try to bring the bump map a little bit lower. The attention to detail on the edgeware is really good, though. I applaud that you were able to get that. So that's really, really, really cool. But again, rendering. And now that I see some of your stuff, Yash, I would also recommend doing a little bit of environment. So if you have this forklift, it should be very easy to do like a concrete floor, a couple of boxes or barrels, some like steel beams, and just like a small little factory where this thing is. And seeing objects in context, like inside of a specific environment, is always a good idea to make your renders pop out even more. But that's a good portfolio so far, my friend. So keep it going. We got Abby over here. Says Abby here doing the Zebra score. Just finished the cheetah skull. We'll send the final look on Discord. Yeah, that's great, man. If you want me to review it during this live stream, just send it on the portfolio review and we'll see it. Okay, we've already seen Leo Gutim. We checked that guy yesterday. Let's go now with Zia Yeltsinkaya. So we got Zia Yeltsinkaya. Hopefully I'm not or pronouncing that properly. You are from Istanbul, Turkey. Nice. I don't think I got Turkey on my map, so I'm also gonna be scratching that country now. For those of you that are not aware, I got a scratch off map over here, and every time I get a student from a new country, I scratch it off. My goal is to get a student from every single country of the world. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, so I can see that you have a lot of character art, which is great. I can see some really good characters and some characters that I would probably not include on my portfolio, and I'll explain why in just a second. Of course, the newer stuff is gonna be a little bit better than the older stuff. Now, one thing I'm seeing here is you have this game character Solak, but you have it twice. And usually, I mean, unless you did something really different, having it only once should be more than enough. That's a keyshot render from what I can tell, and this is a ZBrush render. So this character is actually really good. I think this could be a potentially a very cool game character. Rigging it wouldn't be that difficult because it has a lot of like solid pieces, so you wouldn't have a lot of deformation. And one thing that I'm seeing here is that I'm not seeing a lot of texturing and rendering with like traditional pipelines. So for instance, this cartoon character right here, I can tell it's action, which is great. Were you doing some like NFTs? Yeah, okay, yeah, these are NFTs. Cool. Yeah, there was a lot of work like this a couple of last year. Infamous is from Nepal, dude. I was wondering when I was gonna get Nepal, because that one was that's a tricky country. Like I haven't seen a lot of students from there. So thank you. That's great. I'll scratch that one off as well. So yeah, this character is really good. This characters right here look really cool as well. Like it's a relatively simple like setup, but you managed to do it really nicely. What I can see here is that you okay, so now I'm a little bit confused. Are these characters photoshopped? Kind of look photoshopped. If that's Photoshop, it's a really good Photoshop. But yeah, I would probably do the characters. Like, try to do the characters, because you did a good job on the stage. It's a simple stage, but it looks really nice. And I think you can do it with that as well. This is from a tutorial. I've seen it before. It's a good result. I think this is from the ZBrush official tutorial, I think. Yeah, I think what I would like to see for your characters is more like this. Yeah, exactly. Like, I want to see the topology of your characters. There's a couple of things here on the topology. It's a little bit too dense. Like, this would be really, really complicated. Well, not complicated, but it would be really heavy to rig. So riggers might have a hard time animating this character. You usually want to have a slightly lower poly version. It depends if you're going to go with games or with film or commercials. But usually a density like this is not ideal for animation because it becomes really, 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 really heavy. So my advice would be try to do a full character, like a male or female character, but try to do the full production pipeline, because I can see that you know your softwares, like you know ZBrush, you know Maya, you know rendering, but I don't see a single project where you show everything, right? Like that you know the whole pipeline from start to finish, and I think that would really help your portfolio, my friend. So that one's that. Let's go now with a Magic Kush. Says, hello everyone and shalom Abraham. My name is David Sur. I'm currently 3D modeling student at IAC College in Israel. Nice. Abraham, this is my portfolio that I would like to get your feedback about. Let's go. Let's take a look. Okay. So I can see again, repeating piece. We got the dragon here and the dragon here. Okay, this is the show reel. Okay, that's fine then. I would probably pick a different picture if possible on this side right here, because seeing twice the same thing, it might be a little bit confusing for people. But this is a nice dragon. It's a nice model. The proportions are okay. The topology is really good. Like, this could definitely be animated, and I can see that you probably did some rigging to get it to this pose. Now, I'm gonna call you on this, and again, I don't like doing this to put people on the spot. Like, it's not my what's the word? It's not my goal to make people feel bad or anything, but I can tell that there is a floor plane. Like, if we take a look at the dragon right here, I can see the floor plane in this direction, and you moved a couple of the pieces, like a little bit of the wings, the head and the stuff, to make it look like he's flying, but it's not fooling me. And if it's not fooling me, it's probably not going to be fooling anyone on a portfolio thing. So if it's too much work to pose and prepare this character to be flying, don't pose it. Just keep it in a straight pose, keep it in a natural, like, rigging pose, and that's fine. Like, this is one of advice that I was given by my teachers when I was a student. It's like, don't do something that you think is gonna help if you can't do it like the proper way, because instead of helping you and showing that you know how to do it, it's gonna show that you don't know how to do it, and it's gonna bring down other things. So they give me this advice when I was doing a texturing thing. Actually, I don't have the hard right now. But I was doing this character, this armor character, and I tried adding just very simple materials from like Mental Ray. It was Mental Ray back then, to make it look like metal. And my teacher saw it and was like, what were you trying to do here? It's like, oh, I was trying to add some like textures and stuff. I was like, this texture sucked. This is a really bad texture. So if you don't want to do the full UV process and properly texture the character, don't show me a texture character. Show me just a clay render, and that's fine. I'm not gonna hire you to do textures. I'm gonna hire you to do modeling, and that's fine. So same thing here for you. If you don't want to go through the rigging process and pose the character, don't pose it, because this right here, this shot, it can kind of fool people. Like, you can definitely tell that it looks more like it's flying. But this one right here, you lose the trick, you lose the magic. So that would be my advice. Don't do something unless you're gonna be doing it like all the way, right? This character right here, I think it's not the best work from your portfolio. I would probably take this one out. I know who you were going for. It's Beast Boy from Teen Titans. But there's a couple of things here and there that I'm not convinced about. Texturing wise, it looks fine. But for instance, like topology, like this is way too heavy of a topology for a character like this. Like, you don't want to have this dense of a character. Again, the pose looks a little bit stiff. And it's, I don't think this is the strongest piece for your portfolio, so I will probably take this one out. However, this one right here, this one looks really good. I really like this one. I think it's like a nice photograph thing from this skateboard. The texturing that you did for the cans is really good. The texturing here on the skateboard is really good. So this is a nice piece. This is definitely a nice piece that I would keep on my portfolio. Let's see some questions. We got one from Nophonex that says, do you think we can take the Mixamo rig and use it in Maya? Yes, Mixamo is totally fine. There are several like options to rig your characters if you don't want to learn rigging. I always recommend at least knowing what rigging is about before using any of these tools, because sometimes these tools will create some issues, and if you don't know how to solve those issues, then, well, you're gonna be, as they tend to say, shit out of luck, right? So it's ideal for you to know at least what happens with rigging, how is rigging used, how is rigging applied, what's an IK, what's an FK, like all of those like basic concepts of rigging. If you're gonna be using automatic tools to do the rigging, it's important that you know those. But yeah, Mixamo was perfectly fine for that one. Infamous 2K is asking, which course should I try after completing the ZBrush 2022? If you want to do characters, I would recommend the Advanced Character Creation, which is the Demon character. That's a really like good like level up for ZBrush skills. Or even the Sci-Fi Character Creation that I just released. That one's also really good. So this is a render that you did. This is your first paid 3D gig. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, this is perfect. And this is something that I find really interesting, because when we're at school, when I was at school, the quality bar that they were asking for was really high. Like they always asked for us to do super cool stuff. But then you get to the real world, to the jobs, and you're gonna see that there's a lot of shortcuts, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of simple things, and people are willing to pay a lot of money for things that you will be like, really? Are you gonna pay me that much to do that thing? I remember a couple of, I think it was last year, they paid me like a good amount of money to do a render of a paint bucket. Literally, that was it. Like the client was really desperate, and they were like, hey, I need a paint bucket with the brand of my company, and I need it in like 2 or 3 hours. I'm gonna pay whatever you want. Of course, I didn't charge them like an exorbitant amount of money, but for the amount of, like, it took me like 20 minutes to do the whole thing. And they were like, yeah, that's fine. I love this. There's the money. Thank you very much. So there is a lot of work out there that does not compare, technically speaking, to all of the things that we do as students. And that's why I always tell you guys, you need to keep your eyes open, because if you see those kind of opportunities, it's always really important to make good use of them, right? So yeah, that's a great point. And having paid work on your portfolio is also amazing. Let's see. This is another full production of a music video, including 3D models, animation, and text. Cool. Yeah. Okay, I can see this like lollipop animations and stuff. Cool. I don't want to play the video because we might get like copyright strike or stuff. But yeah, this is good. And then you have your demo reel right here. The only thing I want to see here is I want to see if there's any extra piece on your portfolio. Lollipop. Yeah, okay, so there's no extra piece. That's fine. I mean, this is a good portfolio, and that you're already getting paid jobs, so that's great, my friend. I would definitely encourage you to try some of our anatomy courses if you want to learn a little bit more about the whole process. Dima Danko, yes, give me. I'll give you the link in just a second. There we go. That's the Discord link. If you guys want to submit for your portfolio right now, I am, or the submissions are open. So if you want to submit anything, we're going to be here. And on the portfolio review section, you can submit your stuff. Let's now go with Cameron. Says, hello, Abraham. I've attached 2 more projects since your last critique my work. 1 project from university and 1 project since graduating. While I have worked on more projects both in and out of uni, this is what I'm currently happy to share. The helmet project, I only created the helmet geo, and for the blowtorch project, I'm currently using a paid for look I've seen for the workshop renders. Okay. The Marmoset renders caption and art station were created solely by myself. Thank you in advance, and I look forward to this. Let's take a look. Yeah, I remember this one. I think we even used this one as the thumbnail for one of the videos, because I was really impressed by Cameron on this one. The attention to detail that he went for in the textures was just amazing. That's still one of my favorite pieces so far. Let's take a look. So you said you did the modeling of the helmet. That's fine. Yeah, that's a great modeling. There's a couple of things right there, like this line right here. It doesn't flow like perfectly. Just small little nitpick right there. But this is fine. A lot of the things that, again, they don't tell you about is on big projects, like when you share big projects on your portfolio, studios know that they weren't done by a single person. Sometimes there are people that as a single person, they do amazing things and you're like, damn. But most of the time, if you're seeing a commercial or a film or whatever, hundreds, if not thousands of people work on those, right? So doing this sort of like collaborations where you're like, hey, I only did the modeling for this one, that's fine. Because if they like the modeling, they're going to contact you. And if they like the texturing, they're also going to contact you, but they're going to ask you about the texture artist. And then you're going to give them their name, the name of the texture artist, and you're going to be friends with them because they're going to because it might happen later on that someone contacts them because they want to know who modeled the helmet. So one thing that you guys need to keep in mind, and I repeat this frequently to my students over here, the industry that we're in, even though it's a global industry and there's a lot of people, it's actually a small industry compared to other industries like, I don't know, like doctors and lawyers and, I don't know, accountants and stuff like that. So people that do 3D, we're few people in the world, right? Or compared to every other career. So your name gets out there, and you don't want to be an asshole, pretty much. You want to be a cool dude, and you want to be someone that plays well with the team. You want to be responsible. You want to finish things. You want to have a really good quality, so that when people ask for your reference or they want to get to you, they have good things to talk about you. Okay, so doing these collaboration projects, as Cameron did right here, great stuff. And I do remember this one. I think I've seen this one before, or a similar one. And again, this is great attention to detail. Wow, this is a marmoset render? Dude, it looks like a picture. This is great, man. Yeah, this is really freaking good. Really good. For product rendering, this will be freaking amazing. Cool. Let's see. Farhan. Welcome, Farhan. How are you, my friend? It says, hey, Abraham, when I do wireframe render, its output comes with high dense topology render. How can we take renders like the same one output when we hit a 3? Ah, that's a good question. There is an option, I believe, in Maya. There is an option in Maya when you... Are you using Maya or Marmoset? Farhan. Karthik, Campbell, good evening, my friend. Good evening. I know it's a little bit late over there for you guys in India. Over here, it's almost the middle of the day. It's 11 a.m. Let me show you here, though, with the wireframe render. Let me see if I have a scene ready. No, I don't think I have a scene. I mean, we should have a scene from Nexttut live. Give me 1 second. Okay, no, the chord. No, we need something that's... Yeah, let's take the geisha. Okay, so this was a YouTube video that we did a couple of like months ago. I think it was earlier this year. And it's a robot, right? It's this geisha robot that we have. If we do number 1 and we render, of course it's not going to look as nice, right? Because we're going to be seeing the faceting of the element. But if we do number 3 and we render, and we want to do a wireframe render, we need to make sure that this does not look like that. I don't understand your question, Karthik. Could you rephrase it? You said, is the scope for 3D VFX, which field is better? What do you mean? Like modeling, animation, that sort of stuff? Like which branch or specialty is better? Okay, I'm gonna right-click this object. I'm gonna say assign new material, and Arnold has a specific AI wireframe material right there. There we go. And technically, if we render now, we're gonna see the density. First of all, you can see that this is triangulated. I don't like triangulation, so I'm gonna do polygons, and this is what we're gonna get. Now, what we can do, can we do? Yeah, I don't think we can do the other one, to be honest. I think you guys are right. Maybe I was complaining about other thing. We might need... Yeah, you're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to do number 1 and then do another render so that people know that this is like the normal render. But I was complaining, or not complaining, I was critiquing some of the pieces that students were submitting on the past portfolios, because it looked like they were being like game renders. So for cinematics, that's fine. Like if you're doing this for a cinematic and this is the wireframe render, that's perfectly fine, because people know that this is the smooth subdivision for a film character. But if it's for games, then yeah, we need to definitely bring that down. I'll still do some research for on. I'm not sure if we can change that. There should be a way to do some sort of like layering or something. I'll do some research about how we can do that. So that was Cameron Eddy right there. Let's go now with Roman Smahitel. Ooh, I know that character. That's not from Critical Role, right? Is it? Okay, you found it in Pinterest. Yeah, I think the concept is based on Not from Critical Role, or at least she looks pretty similar to that character. This is a really good result, man. Really, really good result. The cloth and the hat looks really nice. I like the weapon as well. The sculpt perfectly. Yeah, this is how we align characters when we're doing it. I think we could improve a little bit on the wrinkles of the hat. They look a little bit too lumpy on certain areas. Okay, I'm a little bit worried about the retopology here, because we do have a lot of triangles, and triangles in cloths are fine, but like seeing these lines crossing like this on the character, I immediately am a little bit wary, because if you animate this character and you like bend it forward to pick up like a leaf or something, you might have issues there on the overlap of things. So with topology, with regards to topology, we always want to try and keep things as straight as possible. I know what you did that though. You were trying to capture all of these wrinkles right here, and again, I understand, but if the wrinkles are not too intense, then capturing them on the normal map is usually more than enough, especially again for game characters. This is a good project. Just keep in mind that, because they might ask you to do that on your renders. This is really cool, dude. I haven't seen one of this like this in a while, like a heavily stylized character. I'm not sure if you use the base mesh. There's a base mesh like floating around in the internet that has this very like sharp angles. I love this style, by the way. Like, this is one of my favorite styles in regards to games. Like this sort of like hand painted, semi-realistic, hard line styles. Oof, this is great. Now you are saying that it has a 3 count of 9,000 polygons. One of the things that you definitely need to do is show me a wireframe. We need to see the wireframe to see if this is like properly constructed, so that we can use it in games. I would love to read this character, by the way. This is really good. Now we have the artist right here, Lin Chang. Oh man, let me sign in real quick, because I definitely want to follow this guy. He's got cool stuff. There we go. Yeah, like this characters right here. Oof, they're my type of characters. I love games like this. I love art like this. It's really freaking good. Yeah, here it is. Nice. Now we got another guy to hire for our concept, so that we can do more courses. I think one course like that character would be nice. Don't you guys think? I think that would be like interesting. Yeah. Cat mode clocks of divisions will change the way the wireframe looks. That's how it works. Like, that's the way the algorithm works. Karthik says, I mean 3D sculpting and modeling better than VFX rotomatic painting, which okay, so I mean, it's difficult to say which is better. It's not like there's one that's better than the other. It's more that there might be more demand for a specific type of work depending on where you are. So I'm not sure what to tell you, because I've been doing like 3D art all my life, like the past 12 years. And I've had good luck with it, but I know some people that have been going into like the post-production side of things, which are more about matte painting, roto, BFX, and there's also a lot of work to do that. People who do that usually work a little bit more in films and in commercials, and people who do 3D, or at least the people that I know, we do a lot more games and real-time things. So it depends. I wouldn't say one is better than the other one. I think what you need to find is which one you enjoy the most, because at the end of the day, it's a job, right? So there will be days where you're not feeling it, but if it's something that you at least like, then it's a little bit easier to bear. I know I could never be a rotoscope artist, because I hate rotoscoping. I did it when I was at school, and it's like the most, like, it's the worst thing you can do to me. I know there are people that really like it and they really enjoy the process. I don't. This one's really cool as well. I would definitely bring the glossiness of the hair down so that it can separate from the material of the rest of the characters. I like the pose. The wrinkles on the leather arm is really, really cool. But again, we need to... Okay, we do have wireframes. No, I was gonna say it's a little bit dense, but no, it's actually fine. I think the proportions are a little bit off on this one, Roman, because I can see that her face, or her torso, is short compared to the really long legs that she has. So I would probably just take a look at the proportions of the face and on the body in general. But in regards to the technical execution, this is really good detail, really good textures. Maybe the leather is a little bit shiny. Again, everything looks very shiny everywhere, so I would probably play around with certain things being a little bit less glossy than others, so that you can have more more contrast between different materials. But that has to do a little bit more with look depth. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. It says here, hi Abraham, love from India. I love to watch your stream, love the way you explain. I have a problem. I'm very weak in anatomy. So what did you suggest and what should I do as to do a good character artist? Well, we need to study. Whenever we have an issue with something, we need to study. And the technique that I like to share or like to teach is try to take it on small bites. So if you're strong with an enemy, try to do a chest study or an arm study or a hand study. Like, don't try to do a full body if you don't feel like confident or safe. Try to start with like smaller parts of the body and little by little build all of that stuff up until you get a really like complete character. If you want to check anatomy from the courses that I've taught, I would recommend either the stylized character for Blender, which again should be right around here, or the demon character creation for games. Like I've done several characters now, and in all of the characters, I always like to teach anatomy because I know that's one of the skills that people are looking for. I think I'm gonna be doing an anatomy course in the next couple of months, like a full like theory anatomy course, because I think that even though a lot of people don't like anatomy because it's very, very theoretical, it's very important for artists to know it. Let's see. 3D Show says, hey Abraham, I'm currently learning 3D, so I don't have an art station. Can I send a Google Drive link with a render of... Yeah, of course. You can also send it there on the Discord channel, my friend. Karthik saying, can you make a course on full anatomy with different bodies like fatty, skinny, zombie type? Yeah, I think that's a good idea. NoPhonex says, can you make a series or course that you create a realistic Pokemon creature and put it in real life footage or After Effects? Yeah, that's not my area of expertise. However, I've been thinking about doing, or it's one of the minds. Let me know in the comments right now if you guys think Coupon Link has a problem. Oh yeah, I know which one it is. Give me 1 second. I copy pasted it from another part, and that's why. So all of the courses right now on Udemy are on sale. But the one that just got released is this one right here, which is the character creation for games. So if you want to get this new one with a huge discount, you can use the code that's on the screen on that link that's on the description right now. So I was saying that one of the ideas that I have is to create a course, but instead of having a single instructor like myself, do a collaboration. So for instance, I could start doing the retopology and the textures, and then someone else does the rigging, and we finish the whole course. So there might be two two opinions or two different instruction styles in the same course. And I'm thinking about doing something like what you said, like doing a character, like finalizing textures and everything, and then bringing in a compositor that can like combine it in After Effects or Nuke or something to get a final shot. I think something like that might be interesting. Let's see. Ananth, by the way, the link should be fixed now. Please let me know if it's okay now. Akuma says, hi, recently seeing the huge AI revolutions and all, day by day, they're taking over everything. At this point, isn't it scary to pursue character art? Well, I'm kind of scared. It's a complicated world, my friends. Like 20 years ago, people thought that Photoshop was gonna take photographers like work away, and they're still photographers, right? There's still people that do oil painting and traditional sculpting. So it's not that it's gonna take away jobs, but it does bring the entrance point lower. So if we want to beat AI, we need to be better than AI and offer something that AI cannot offer, right? So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens, but this is what I've been telling everyone about the AI conversation. AI is not going anywhere. Like, AI is here to stay. It's not going to go anywhere, and we need to adapt to it, right? Like, we need to see how we can use it to keep on growing and keep on learning, rather than see it as the enemy and trying to eliminate it. Because if we go on the offense and try to eliminate it, it's gonna win. Like, AI is gonna win. So we need to find a way to work with it, not against it. Okay, let's go now with Anivav. Let's see here. iMac3D says, I'm looking for film look dev courses. Any suggestions? I said you guys had the Mario tutorial. I'm mainly wanting a film lighting look dev course or resources. If you want a film lighting, we do have the lighting masterclass that I did last year. It focuses on Arnold, and it talks about a lot about composition, light, framing, stuff like that. This one right here. So if you want to check it out, this one, you can also use the code up here, and it should have like a huge discount. And it's like what, like 9 hours. So it's like a really condensed information about how this how to make better looking scenes for your portfolio. Let's see. Michael Bradshaw says, how would you model a large spaceship that the player can be on, and is there a way to make such large asset optimized for games? You're probably gonna have to do something called level streaming inside of Unreal Engine, depending if you're gonna be doing it Unreal. And the way this works is you're gonna build the ship in a modular way, right? So every time a player enters like a hallway, the doors close behind them, all of the level behind that door disappears, and all of the level in front appears, right? So you're not gonna give the players the option to see everything at the same time. This is a perfect example here. So when the player is in this area, this level right here does not exist, and when the player walks in there, the whole level appears, and they don't see it because it's usually behind a corner or through a hallway or after you go from a door or something. It's a really handy way to deal with really like big assets. As you can see here, for instance, when you're inside and you don't see the water's not rendering, or at least not at the finest detail. And once you start seeing those details, everything just like goes back into the render engine. You would definitely need to have some sort of like a low poly version of the whole ship, so that if you are seeing it from far away, you can see like the whole element. But that's like multiple assets that you're gonna have to be playing around with. There's a lot of tricks like that people do with games to generate that sort of stuff. Let's see. Can you suggest me a good game asset course for Maya? For Maya, because Arash just finished one that's for Blender. If you already know how to use Maya, I would strongly recommend that you take Arash's course, the radio one that he did very recently, and just do whatever tools he's using instead of Maya. This one, if you do whatever tools he's using for Blender and you just do them in Maya, you're gonna be able to get a really nice result, because Arash is really good at like texturing and details. So that one I think could be useful. As for one that I did for Maya, I don't think so. Maybe no, because that's more high poly stuff. I mean, the demon character has a lot of props that we do, and we use Maya, but it's also a lot of ZBrush. So yeah, I would probably recommend Arash's course, to be honest. Okay, so we're going with Avul now Tomar. Okay, so I've mentioned this before. Usually when I see a lot of pieces, that usually means that there's pieces that don't really need to be here. For instance, this head right here, I don't think it's ideal. Some of these assets are a little bit like underdeveloped. I like this one, it's a funny one, but again, this is not the kind of stuff that you might want to have on your portfolio. You want to go for the high quality stuff. Anything that's a practice, a study, a tutorial, or something like that, that's the type of stuff that I would probably recommend against. So yeah, I mean, you have some cool ones like this one right here. This looks very nice. Again, careful with the metal edgeware. Abul, now you're committing one of the like main mistakes that I see people commit with the metal edgeware, which is to add damage to every single part of the edgeware. You always want to mask out some elements, because objects do not like get damaged in a uniform way. My best advice for you, my friend, would be to do a little bit of cleanup. You have 31 pieces, and I don't think a portfolio needs 31 pieces. I mean, you can have like a lot of pieces, but they all need to be really, really good. Some of the top artists out there, like Rafael Grassetti, they have like 20, 50, 100 pieces, but all of them are like top notch, right? So you should be your first judge, or the first judge to say, is this asset really worth it to have it on my portfolio? Like this one right here. Do you really need this Patanjali, this convenience store in your portfolio? I would say probably not. Okay, so be very, very critical with yourself and think about which ones you really want to be there on your portfolio. Let's go now with Russell Biper. Hello, Abraham. This is my first portfolio review. I've been learning ZBrush and just started taking Substance Painter class on Skillshare, and your classes have been a great help. Thank you. Let's take a look, Russell. Nice. Yeah, I can. I know some of this, guys. The octopus is one of the exercises from our course. Okay, so I think, my friend, you are right now at your student phase, and even though it's perfectly fine for you to have a portfolio, you should be mindful that most of these pieces are probably going to be gone as you get better and better. I would definitely keep this alien cat. I think it's a good concept. I think it's a good presentation. It's not bad. You don't need this shots right here. Like, people don't care about the ZBrush render. So if you want to do shots with this one right here, make sure to do like proper shots to really showcase what's going on. Now, I do see some anatomy issues here with this character. Some of the muscles are not really well defined, and they need a little bit more form. But I understand what you're going for, and especially if you're just a student right now or just learning, that's perfectly fine as well. So yeah, I would probably keep on doing, like, do more practice and start thinking about what's gonna be like your first big project, like a character concept that you really like, and you're gonna be doing the full pipeline, or at least the full high poly pipeline. That would be my advice for you, my friend. Let's see. Vicente Mendez says, yeah, the link is working. Link for that one. Which one, my friend? Which link are you looking for? All of our courses are here in the Nexttut Udemy page. I'm gonna link this one on the description right now. So every single course, if you use the all May 2023 code, you can get it for a discount. If you're just learning, I strongly recommend the Complete Guide to ZBrush 2022. If you already know ZBrush and you want to go to the next level with characters, this one right here is really good as well. The Complete Guide to Maya 2023 is also quite good. And yeah, we have what, like over 67 courses. There you go, almost to the 70th. 70th? 70 pues. Karthik says, sir, make full pipeline character like sculpt, topo, text, rigging, animation. We have that, my friend. We already have that. Right here. The advanced ZBrush character creation, that's the high poly. And then the advanced texture character creation, that's textures and, what's the word? Textures and posing. We even bring it onto Unreal Engine. So this one is like a full pipeline. The new one that I just finished, the volume 1 of the sci-fi character creation, this is going to be the first part. We are going to be doing the second part, which is going to be, again, retopology and textures, and then we're going to be doing rigging and animation for this one too. So, but it's going to take a little bit of time for me to finish that. Okay, let's see. So who are we with? Let me clean some of this. Okay, now we're going with Ike Tankash. Hello everyone, this is my friend Karthik Sharma, who recently bought realistic character modeling for game in Maya and ZBrush. First portfolio review, we're both your big fan, really, on channel we find useful stuff. Thanks for the sharing. You're welcome. He can't join your Discord, so that's why I'm sharing his portfolio. Please take a look. Let's take a look. Cool. Nice. Okay, so I really like this asset. I always like when you people create like things like a full scene. Doing full scenes and seeing elements in context is always fun. This is a nice little like diorama, and it's a great example of your knowledge about like ZBrush modular environments. But this one, I really like. This is a really fun one. It's like a keg hammer. So I can definitely see some cartoon biking or character working with this one and fighting along with it. Really cool. Again, careful with the metal edge work, Karthik. You definitely want to like blur or just mask out some of the elements, because we don't want to have all of that everywhere. Also here, I can see that you added like wine, like coming out of the element. You would have some rust or something on the metal as well. So we'll probably add that. But the sculpt is really clean, really nice render. So I like that piece. Axe Gun. I've seen this one before as well. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah. Again, metal edgeware. Just careful with that. You can see you added this sort of like gold border pretty much everywhere. Just be careful not to add it everywhere and mask it out in certain areas. But the sculpt, again, really cool. I would love to see the wireframe. Like, I know with the Marmoset viewer here, you can take a look at the wireframe. Okay, a little bit heavy on the wireframe, especially on the cylinders here. If this is going to be for games, you definitely need to bring the topology down for several of these assets. And if this is going to be for film, then you can bring all of the other assets up a little bit more. For instance, this guy right here could definitely be up a little bit more, because you're having like two different types of topology competing here. For some really dense polygons and some really low polygons, and that's not ideal. It's too many triangles. 232,000. That's way too much for games. So yeah, let's see. Apocalyptic Axe. Yeah, nice. I guess you're doing a lot of weapons. My suggestion would be to do like a gun or something. That's always important for a prop artist. Even if it's stylized, like one of the ones that a lot of people do is like Jinx Cannon. Right? I don't remember the name of the cannon. Chomper, I think, or something like that. But this is a great like stylized weapon that you could do, or any weapon for League of Legends is usually like nicely and stylized. But yeah, it's cool, man. Good stuff. Let's see. Could you recommend the top 5 courses that really needs for the company? Well, the thing is, it depends a lot on what kind of job you're going for. But I'm gonna like, I mean, if you take a look at our top 4 courses, is like, you need Maya, you need ZBrush, like the complete guide to ZBrush. This one by Victor Yamakado, the ZBrush character likeness. If you want to be a character artist, it's another must-have. And you need some sort of like substance painter. So it could be like advanced texture character creation, or what's the word? Or this one, substance painter texturing for beginners. I think those are like must-haves for anyone getting into the industry. Then if you want to go into environment, Arash has been doing a lot of environment stuff for Unreal Engine 5, which is amazing. And then there's things like the intro to animation, rigging, and stuff like that that will also give you a nice idea of where to head with the next courses. Infamous, may I message you directly on Discord later? Yes, I usually take a little bit to answer because there's a lot of things on my plate right now. But yes, you can of course message me, no problem. Let's take a look. Oh, this is really cool. Dude, this is amazing. Manoj Maharana. I mean, you're a senior artist, my friend. There's no real need for me to give you any feedback. You're on the top leagues as well, man. Yeah, this is really cool. So this is where you guys want to get. If you guys want to be as good as Manoj and be working on great games like Ghost of Tsushima and stuff like that, you need to improve your anatomy, you need to improve your rendering, you need to improve, or you need to learn Marvelous Designer and do amazing things like what he's doing right here. I'm a huge fan of Sue Storm. This is really, really cool. Yeah, nice. You handled the transparency or effects really nicely here. Yeah, this is great, Manoj. Like, I really don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, you're already working on the industry and you're already working on amazing stuff. So if you just want your shout out to your name out there, you got it, man. Because this is just top level stuff. Now, I'm gonna give you, you guys, and not only Manoj, but you guys, I'm gonna give you a great point here. Whenever we see portfolios like this, and it happened to me when I was a student, I was like, man, I'm never gonna be good as that guy. And instead of inspiring me, it used to bring me down. And I found a way to get out of that loop, and I'm gonna share it with you. You might feel overwhelmed by the amount of things that he is showing right here, like this like suit right here. It's like, how am I supposed to learn how to do this? Well, here's what you need to do. First of all, if you have a question, ask a comment. Like, you don't lose anything by asking him if you could have like any sort of like idea of how to start it. He's probably gonna tell you, oh, you definitely need to learn Marvelous Designer. Okay, so I know that the software that I need to learn is Marvelous Designer. I know that if I put myself, or I give myself the goal of doing this character in Marvelous Designer, I'm gonna fail completely because I don't know the software. But if I tell myself, hey, what about doing just the headdress? I'm gonna challenge myself and I'm just gonna do the headdress that he has right here. Well, maybe that's gonna be a little bit easier to achieve. And if you do that, then you can move on to the next part, and to the next part, and to the next part. Same thing for this character right here. I'm like, this is really, really good. Maybe you see the full character is like, oh man, I'm never gonna be able to do a character like this. Well, okay, if you're struggling with this, why not practice with just the face? We'll practice with just the face, or we'll practice with just a hand, or maybe I'll just do like the skirt armor or something. Like, try to break down the pieces from pro artists into smaller bites, and it's gonna be a lot easier to handle. And little by little, you're gonna be growing, and by the time you are aware of where you are, you're gonna see like, oh man, I've come like huge leaps until to this point, and I'm in a really good point. And yeah, this is really cool, Manoj. Congratulations, great portfolio. Let's see. Hello, Andy. Is it possible to create realistic crystal material on Substance? No, not really. The thing is, Substance is a texturing software, not a shading software. So if you want to create like things that refract and move light in specific ways, you definitely need to work a little bit more with shaders, and that's gonna be done either in Marmoset or in Maya with Arnold, or in Unreal. So that's more of a shading thing, not so much a texturing thing. Let's go now with Utkarsh from Mumbai, India. Okay, so I can see a couple of exercises here from Utkarsh. Again, one of the things that we need to be very mindful about, my friend, is try to only have here the best of your stuff. And if you're still learning, which I can see that most of the stuff is beginner level student, or maybe a little bit of intermediate level as well, you don't need to have a portfolio just yet. I know it's very tempting to have an art station and start submitting stuff, but a lot of this stuff could be on your Facebook page or your Instagram. And as you get better and better and your pieces improve, now you can start uploading here. I think this octopus is actually quite nice. I know this is a one of the practices from the ZBrush course. The rendering is fine. It's a fun rendering, fun like light experiment right there. But again, if it's a practice thing, it's probably not meant to be in your portfolio. And remember that ArtStation is your presentation letter to the world. So when people click on your stuff, you want to be showing really cool elements, not things that were practice or studies or things like that. Like this little guy right here. I know, I mean, it's a fun concept, but it's something that anyone who knows the very basics of Maya could do in like 2 or 3 hours, right? So if it's something simple that anyone can do, it might not be the best idea to have it on your portfolio. So try to find one project. This is my advice for people that are in this stage. Try to find one project, one element that you're like, I really want to do this, and I think this is going to be a really strong piece, and do that one. Do the full pipeline, sculpting, topology, texture, rendering, and present it as your like stellar piece here in your portfolio, and that's going to give you more points. Let's see. We're now going to go with Arca Irtem. Nice. So Arca Irtem from Turkey as well has been doing a lot of portraits, and I can definitely see an improvement. Like, you can tell who each character is, but I can definitely see a big improvement coming like all the way to the top here. So we got Joel, of course, Ellie, Hitman. Like these older ones, I would probably take them out. Like this Jennifer one, my friend, Arca, I would probably take it out because it's not as good as some of the most recent ones. Same for like this one right here, Richard Giri. It's not finished, or at least it doesn't have textures, so I would probably take it out because now you have better stuff that that you can show off. So let's take a look at this Joel right here. It's really freaking good. Now the question is, what are you using? ZBrush, Mari, grooming, Action Core, C-Wrap, detail transfer. Yeah, that's fine. Textures, yeah. Okay, so we're going for cinematic stuff, cinematic looking, and I think you did capture the character quite nicely. There's still a little bit of things that are throwing it off from the game character. So my advice would be to check the Victor Giamacado course, the one with Anthony Hopkins, because I think you could learn a couple of extra tricks there about capturing the likeness of the character even more. It's not bad. Like, you're really close to the characters themselves. And the result, the rendering that you're achieving is really cool. The eyes look amazing. But I would definitely take a look at that course. Oh, this is a really nice setup. Yeah, this is really cool, man. Now, one other thing that I would suggest, because I can see that you're really good at faces, but I would strongly recommend that we do a full body as well. I can see a lot of faces right here, and I know there are jobs in the industry for people that only do faces. However, there's more work for people to do the whole character, right? So if you're already working, then don't mind my opinion. It's just what I'm saying. But if you want to prove that you can do the whole pipeline, then doing a full body like this one right here, I think will be a really cool thing. Like, just finish this character, do like the proper render for stuff, and you're gonna have a great portfolio as well. How many more do we got? 4 more. Okay, we got 4 more. Let's go. Let's see. When's the next portfolio review? IMAX3D is asking. We have one portfolio review every single month. So the next one's going to be on June 17, I think. It's going to be the next portfolio. However, if you have your portfolio ready, I am going to be recording the ones from Google Drive later today. And we're going to have the video tomorrow. Okay. So that one's not going to be a live stream. It's going to be a video. And it's going to be up tomorrow. So if you want to submit, you guys still have a chance. Okay, cool. This is nice. Pictorial Moron. We got a couple of renders. This is a nice grenade. There's a couple of things on the geometry, especially on the handle, that I would definitely fix. And the render, man. You definitely need to improve your render. You have some nice assets, but your render is killing you. Like here, first thing I'm seeing, the light is way too overexposed. Like, look at how white this whole ground is. It's just too much. Look at the harshness of this shadow. Like, this is not what you want for your renders. Again, your model is not bad, but your renderer is not helping you. So you want to keep softer shadows. Now, I can see that you're using the substance render because I can see this, like the form sphere right here. You definitely need to bring these assets into Maya and render them with proper rendering, or even Marmoset if you want to do like real-time rendering, because the rendering is what's killing you right now. Careful here with the wood grain. This is an advice that I give every single time we talk about wood. The wood grain should always go in the direction in the direction of the longest like distance, because that's going to give the biggest strength. I always give this example of people like kicking the boards in Kung Fu and Karate and stuff like that. You will never see someone kicking the wood with the grains like this in this direction, because if they do this and they break it, it's going to splinter all over the place. It's going to be very, very dangerous for everyone. So what they do is they cut the wood in this way so that the fibers, even though they're really strong because they're all intertwined, but they're going to break like this, and it's going to have a clean cut down the middle. Okay, so the grain of the wood should always go towards the longest direction of the element. That should be a must for everyone who's doing that sort of stuff. Farhan says, I'll upload my file on Drive Link today after a live stream. Please wait for me for uploading. I thought my submission will be closed. Yeah, okay, that's fine, Farhan. I'll wait for you. I'll probably be recording in like 2 hours or something. So you have like the next 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, let's go with the next one. Benjaminos, hey, I'm still in school, but my friend and I would like to have feedback on our projects. Here's a Google Drive video of our projects. Let's take a look. Monster Tea Party. I'm not seeing. Hey, this is cool. This is fun. Okay. Is this a video? No, it's an image, right? This is a video. Okay, let's take a look. So, nice, Benjamin Paquette. Where are you from, Benjamin? Are you in the chat right now? Yeah, this is a nice model. What are you missing? Texturings. You need to texture this model because it's a nice high poly, but we need to texture the model. Same for this one. Is this one from like Elysium or something? Looks familiar. Quebec, nice. Yeah, we need textures. The model is fine. The high poly is fine. It's perfectly workable. We need to see topology as well. It will be important to see how the topology is managed right here. And but we need textures. Even some basic materials. For instance, for this car, you can use the car paint material within Maya or within Arnold to get a nicer effect. It could be like a production ready. There's a couple of things on the topology on this side that are like telling me that there might be some issues over there, like some weird pinches. But in general, it looks good. Yeah, this is good, man. I really like this one. I think this is a cool project. If you guys are gonna be animating these little guys, I think that's gonna be really, really fun. Careful with the scale of objects though. Like this cups right here look huge compared to like the teapot over here. They look pretty much the same size. So you want to make sure that if these cups are going to be really big, maybe make everything bigger so that they look a little bit more like normal size. But I really like the monsters. They look fun. Yeah, they look fun. Arpit Gupta says, hi sir, I'm from India and want to share my portfolio. Can I share my portfolio? Yes, if you are on the Discord channel, Gupta, you can share it right now and I'll take a look at it. If not, there is a link on the on the description right now, and you can submit it to Google Drive and I'll review it later today for tomorrow's video. Let's go with AFK Parf Jane. Okay, Parf, again, we're still learning. I like your ideas. This is a nice character, but it's not finished, so it's probably not the best idea to have it here on your portfolio yet. This I really like. I think this has a little bit more potential. Oh, there we go. And the rendering is actually interesting. I think this rendering is beautiful, like this one right here. If you're doing this in Arnold, which I think you are, make sure to remove the visibility of the background and do a Photoshop background somewhere else. I can see that you're using some tiling textures. Careful with the tiling here on the chimney because it looks a little bit off in certain areas. I know that this is supposed to be like a low poly version of this like village. I think this slide right here is the best one that you have. Also careful with the tiling on the ground. It's too big, so it makes the whole house look like a miniature. But this is a good piece. I would probably keep pushing this one. Add some boxes, add some barrels, add some banners, add some like grasses or flowers, something. Like just keep decorating this scene and you're gonna have a really strong piece for this particular. And then I can see this is a human anatomy study. There's a couple of things with anatomy that we need to check. The face definitely needs a little bit more work as well. Proportions are a little bit off. You can tell that the head is really small, the face is really small compared to the rest of the body. The hands are really small as well. Look at the fingers, super tiny fingers. So I would definitely like wait a little bit more until you upload this character. And if you want to check one of our courses, I would recommend the character creation, the demon character creation for games, because we go over anatomy there, and you're gonna be able to learn a couple more tricks to make sure that this fits very nicely. Yes, of course, Gupta. There's two ways you can repeat this. You can do this by going into Discord. You can join our Discord channel. I'll share you the link. and there is a thread on the Discord called Portfolio Review, and you can submit it right there. Or if you go to the comments or to the description of this live stream, there is going to be a link to our Google Drive folder. You can create a folder there with your name and drop your link over there so that you can submit your portfolio. If you submit on Discord right now, I'll take a look because we're almost done with the Discord submissions. And if you submit on the Google Drive, it's going to be open later today, or it's going to be tomorrow. We're going to go now with Dima Danko from Ukraine, who's doing some very cool looking cartoon things. Nice. Okay, so again, first suggestion, get rid of the old stuff, man. Some of the old stuff is not as good as the new stuff, and you know it. I know you know it, because we tend to be the worst critiques to ourselves. We tend to be very strong with that. So there are some of these things. I would say probably starting with this girl right here, I would take most of this out. I would probably keep this one, the fisherman. I think this is looking good. I would probably keep this one. But all of this like white clay renders, you don't need those. You don't need those. This totem right here, that's a good exercise for ZBrush. This one right here, I think it's getting there, but it's not there yet. So I will also take this one out. Like on the thumbnail, it doesn't look that bad, but once you go in there, there's a couple of sculpting things that look a little bit weird. For instance, this like hole on the cheek. I know what you were going for, like the dimples that some girls get, but I don't think it's really working. Same for like the cat ears. They're not really reading like cat ears. I'm not sure if it's because of the glossiness or something. The eyes also look a little bit dead. So I would probably take this one out. This one I really like. I think this is a really good one. Grand Patrol. Really nice. There's a little story going on here. The character is nice. Even the little like toucan is really, really nice. This is a great piece. Maybe improve the light a little bit more, because I do feel like the light's a little bit flat. I'm not sure where you're doing okay, Blender is the render place where you're doing it. I will probably change things here a little bit. Just add a more precise light. Like, it's always important to have a key light for the audience to know where the main light is coming from. And with this sort of renders where everything looks very flat, it's very difficult to tell where the light is actually coming from. Tears of Themis. Not bad, but the cloth is looking a little bit wonky. This is the kind of stuff that I would definitely do with Marvelous Designer or some sort of like cloth simulation to get there. Gupta, again, if you go to the Discord channel and you go to the showcase section, there's this portfolio review, and right there you can drop your link. This one I like. The light is even a little bit better. I would make the key light a little bit stronger to not have a flat look. You always want to have The secret about good rendering, my friends, is that light and shadow play a super, super important role with the whole thing. I'll show you real quick here. It's gonna be really, really stupid, but I'll show you. Can you see me? Of course you can't, because I just turned off all of the lights here in the studio. If I turn on the lights, you're gonna see that there's 3 lights right here. I have one huge super light right here, another huge light over here, and there's another like spotlight over there, like shining light into the diploma and everything else here. So if I start turning off some of those lights, which unfortunately I can't individually, but if I start covering them up, like you can see here in my hand, I'm gonna start getting a really strong shadow, and only this light that I have right here is gonna be lighting my face. So I created this setup with really intense light, so you can see some shadows on my face and on the objects that are casting them onto me, and so that the image looks as nice and contrasty as possible. Because if I was just outside with a global light, then everything would look washed out and stuff like that. So you don't want that. You always want to have, again, a key light, a rim light, a global light, like a direction light. And that's why the rendering course that I recorded, the complete, or was it like Master Light course, this one right here, Maya Lightning Masterclass, it's really, really important to understand, like, where am I placing the light? Where am I placing the shadows? How am I telling a story with the light and the renders in my scene? Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Yes, I will check yours in just a second, Gupta. Where can I learn Houdini simulations? With us! You can also learn Houdini simulations with us, because we do have a course about Houdini. Let me get you the link right here. I don't know Houdini. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't know Houdini, but this is one of our best sellers as well. So if you guys want to learn Houdini, you can also use the code that's up here to get a super discount on this one. 15 hours, 16 hours of information about Houdini right here. This is done by Shasad Ahmad, another one of our instructors, and that's really, really cool. So I want to check it out as well. And I love this one. I think this is definitely your best piece because we have a light. Like, I can see the lights coming from the top. I would definitely increase the intensity on this one just a tad bit more. But I really think this is a great piece. Like, it definitely, I can definitely see that you are understanding that a little bit more. Just again, if you can get the course, the lighting course, I think even though it's for Maya, you can use all of those concepts inside of Blender because it's more about theory than the actual tools, and your renders are gonna improve. I promise that. Also, Foundry website tutorials for Houdini. There you go. Advanced Houdini FX course. I'll tell the team that we're gonna go for something like that. Okay, so we're gonna go now with Clara. Clara from Germany. I was gonna try to speak in German, Clara, but I forgot most of my stuff. Trying to conjugate some verbs. No, I'm gonna fail totally. I was gonna say when I was in high school, I learned a little bit of German, but no, I'm gonna fail completely if I try. I'm just gonna make a fool out of myself. Sorry about that. But I went to Vienna when I was younger on a trip to Europe, and Germany is one of the places that I would love to visit if I have the chance. This is really cool. Nice dragon. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never sculpted a dragon because I'm always afraid of not being able to do it justice. But this is really cool. I think you did manage to capture the essence of a powerful dragon. So this is a great piece. If you could retopologize and texture it, you would have another great piece here for your portfolio. Red Forest. Environment design concept of Red Forest, Blender, and Cycles. Nice. Yeah, clean render. This is what I talk about light. Like, if I see this scene, I can immediately tell that there are two main light sources. A light coming from the top, probably from the moon or something like that, and the little lantern on the center. And my eyes, as an audience member or as a consumer, directly goes to the tree, and I can really see what Clara wants me to see, which is this tree right here. Now, for this particular project, Clara, I would suggest doing a turntable of just the tree itself, because it's a really nice prop, and if you could showcase it as an individual element, that would be also really cool. You can keep it on the same place, but having like breakdowns of the elements, I think would be a really cool and good option there. Is this the same dragon? Kind of looks like the same dragon. I think this, from a concept piece, or from a concept perspective, is fine, but I can definitely see that the dragon's a little bit too glossy. So it does look a little bit empty on certain areas. I would add more stones, rocks, maybe like a skeleton or something, just to decorate the overall thing. Also, having this huge pillar right here at the side of this dragon makes it look like humongous. So unless giants build this, it looks a little bit unreal. But it's not a bad piece. I'm gonna jump forward to Ornn, because I'm a huge fan. When I used to play League of Legends, I don't anymore. It's very toxic. But Ornn was one of my favorite champions. Yeah, it's not bad. A couple of anatomy issues here and there. I would definitely fix some of that stuff, because some of the muscles are not flowing nicely into the arm. You might want to check again the character creation course that I did for the demon, or the tiefling character. We go over anatomy. I love the fiber mesh. That's pretty cool. Is it fiber mesh or is it? Oh no, you're using Blender. Okay, so it's like Blender, like hair notes and stuff. The textures look good. The render, this is one of the things about rendering. People are really scared to hide things and make things like mysterious sometimes, because you're like, hey, I spent so much time working on the character, I want to make sure everyone sees every single detail. But this is good, because it means that you understand that more important than the character is the story that we are telling. And this shot right here tells the story of a blacksmith, right? So this is good. I like it. Again, make sure to practice a little bit more on your anatomy, but that's a good result. Ancient temples. Okay, again, as a concept piece, it's fine. Necromancer. Is this painted? Did you paint this? Looks like it's a digital paint. So here's my opinion about multiple skills. Your portfolio should showcase the kind of work that you want to get. So if you want to be a concept artist, you should have a portfolio dedicated only to concept art. If you want to be a 3D artist, then you should have only 3D art. From what I can see here, you're more inclined towards the 3D art. So probably not necessary to have this one right here. CD at night. This is really cool. Is it a concept piece as well? Yeah, it's a concept piece. Okay, so it seems like you really like concept as well, which is fine. It's perfectly fine to do a little bit of concept. Oh, this is really good. I thought it was a concept piece at first, but then, oh, this is nice. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think you have some really good skills, Clara. My advice for you would be to decide what kind of like specialty you might want to do, because you can definitely fill the role of a generalist. You can do characters, you can do creatures, you can do environments. That's great. But what specifically do you want to do? And do 2 or 3 pieces about that specific like a role, so that you can fill in with the rest of your portfolio. But so far, this looks really good. Let's see. Now we go with Arpit Gupta. Let's take a look. Nice, not bad. I see a lot of modeling, some texturing. This is really good, and a lot of hard surface stuff. Not bad, my friend. This is really good. Super nice photoreal thing. Great, yeah. See, this is what I mean by the light. There's a direct light coming from the left. That's what you want. That's what you want. Even though we don't see like a super intense light right here, it's obvious that there's one main light over here. You can see some of the reflections there on the either HDRI or something. This is a great asset. All park bench that can be used in maps use. Did you do this with photogrammetry or? Yeah, this is good. A little bit low on the texture size. I know the texture size is 1K. Usually it's recommended that for your portfolio you do 4K textures, and then if they ask you to low res them, you can just low res them. Because I know this is supposed to be for like a mobile game or something, but still 1K for such a like a big surface is really low. Probably do at least 2K. This is really cool. The question is, can we texture this? Do you have clean UVs and everything? Probably not, because it looks a little bit more like Kit Bash. But if you do, then texturing this will be a great way to showcase your skills as well. Yeah, I mean, this looks great, man. I know you mentioned you have 3 years of experience. It shows. I can definitely tell that you've been working on this for a while. Is this photogrammetry? This kind of looks like photogrammetry based on the thing, which looks really nice. So yeah, congratulations, man. My advice would be to do something a little bit more complex, like try doing like a tank or something like that, because you have a lot of like really, I wouldn't say simple, but common objects that you could find on the world, right? Like this bag, this bench. If we can see like a really complex object to showcase that you know how to apply all of this information into a more ambitious project, I think your portfolio would be way stronger. Yeah, exactly. Yes, Mac 3D says 2K is usually the standard, so I would go at least for that. But I usually do 4K for my portfolio because at any point you can downres, right? Like downresing is not it's not that complicated. Let's go now with Silent Sword, Anupam Gold. Nice. Again, a couple of simple ones that I would probably take out of my portfolio because, again, if it's super simple that anyone can do it, then it's not really going to be helping you. Like this one right here. It's not bad. Definitely really dense on the topology. That's also something that you could work on, but it's not really necessary to have a simple watch like this. If you want to do a watch, do a really complex watch. Like look for a Rolex or there's this like watch. Like I've seen some watches where you can actually see the inner mechanism on from the like the faceplate or something. I don't know what they're called. I'm not a watch guy. But if you could do something like this, like a really, really intricate watch, that's gonna give you more points than doing a simple one. This one right here, this is a nice one. It's a nice model, nice toy, but again, you're making the mistake of the metal edgeware being everywhere, especially here on the wings. It's everywhere on the wings. On other parts, I can see that you did take a less like intense approach, but in this one right here, it's everywhere, and we definitely need to take care of that. Like we don't want to have as much detail everywhere. Don't do this. Again, this is the same thing that I explained earlier today. If you're not a compositor and you don't know how to properly match an object, a 3D object with a backplate, don't do it, because when you try to do it and it doesn't look as good as you might want it, it's gonna bring your model down. So just keep it like this, simple model. Bring up your samples. I'm not sure what you're using for rendering, but definitely bring out your samples or use the denoiser to get rid of all of this grain that you have here of the bounce light. And yeah. Little dense on the topology, not bad, but it is definitely a little bit dense. This axe looks good though. I like this one. The colors are a little bit saturated, a little bit too saturated, I think. But the model looks good. Textures look good as well. we need a wireframe for this one. We definitely need a wireframe render. And then this one, I think it's your best piece so far, but we need to improve the scene a little bit. How are we gonna improve it? We need to add a backdrop, like a wall, and we need to add some more props. We need to add a little bit more elements right here. Yeah, as IMAX saying right there, we do need the optic denoiser here inside of Maya, so... I mean, I don't have it right now because let me assign the material again. So when we render, if you click this little guy right here, if we don't have a denoiser, you can see there's a lot of noise on the image. So you're gonna add here an imager. It's called denoiser optics. If you don't have an NVIDIA graphics card, you can use the denoiser Oiden as well. Both of them work perfectly fine, and they're gonna clean the noise, as you can see right there. So super important to use a denoiser. Pretty much every software nowadays, Blender, like everything, even like ZBrush with the new render, they have denoiser. So that's definitely something that we need to do. This rug is fine. I would like to see it on its basic form. It's definitely way too dense. So yeah, actually now that I see the topology, yeah, this is way too dense, man. Like you shouldn't have that many polygons unless you're gonna be adding all that detail. So I'm probably take this one out from the portfolio as well. I like the guitar. Again, the T here is fine, but we need to add a little bit more of an environment, okay? There we go. And we got, finally, Barani says, hey, I didn't love this character. It's still in work in process. Thank you. Yeah, a clicker from The Last of Us. Really good. The challenge with this one, my friend, is going to be the retopology and the textures, because anyone can sculpt a monster in ZBrush. Well, not anyone, but it's one of the things that everyone who learns ZBrush is able to do relatively fast. So the challenge is, can you or will you retopologize and texture it? Because if you will do that, then you're going to be in a good position. Cool. Let me see. Do we have any more questions here? Share portfolio work and drive link. Okay, thank you, Farhan. For the Google Drive links, I'm gonna be reviewing them on a video. It's gonna air tomorrow. Tomorrow at morning. Well, morning for you guys. It's gonna be midnight for us. And yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Did you guys like the live portfolio review? I think this is like the second time we do it, but I wanted to make sure that we had a different way to do it now that we have a lot of submissions. So let me know in the comments. Did you guys like it? Any more questions? We're about to finish the live stream, so it's now or never. Of course, I'll see you back on the live stream on Monday, and tomorrow, as I mentioned, we're gonna have another video with the remaining portfolios. But I want to make sure that you guys have all of your questions answered before we leave today. New questions at once. New questions at two. At a 2, 3. Okay, no, it seems like we don't have any more questions. Well, if that's the case, my friends, then we're about to finish the live stream. So I just want to remind you that right now, all of the things that we've been talking about, rendering, modeling, sculpting, painting, texturing, everything, we have like the course for it. So if you guys want to learn anything that we talked about right now, there's going to be a link down here on the description for the Nexttut page on Udemy. And if you use the code that's up here, the All May 2023, you can get the highest discount available right now for your region, and you guys are going to be able to learn from the best. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much for being today here on the live stream, this surprise live stream. I'll see you back on Monday for another live stream, and tomorrow for more 3D stuff. Okay? Yeah, that's pretty much it, my friends. Thank you very much, and I'll see you back on the next one. Bye-bye.